Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, Aesop's fable of the tortoise and the hare comes alive as MbL, playing as the slow but powerful Bohemians in red, gets ready to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the fast and powerful Huns in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate llama surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today, the Bohemians, a civilization that does whatever it can to push you towards gunpowder units by making the chemistry upgrade available in the Castle Age and therefore hand cannoneers available in the Castle Age. They also have access to an upgrade that increases the movement speed of all of their gunpowder units by 15%. Now, when I say all of their gunpowder units, is before you start thinking they're just a one-trick hand cannoneer Castle Age pony, the Bohemians do have access to not one but two unique, powerful gunpowder units at their disposal. The first is the Hussite Wagon, an incredibly tanky, powerful siege unit, sometimes referred to as the Mobile Wall, because it can actually protect units behind it from enemy projectiles by splitting the damage of those projectiles in half. The second is the Haufnitze, an upgraded version of the Bombard Cannon that comes with a slew of better stats. But before you get a little bit too excited about having an even better, more powerful Bombard Cannon, the actual cost of upgrading your BBCs to Haufnitzes costs more than going up to Imperial. Now, to provide backup for these expensive gunpowder units, the Bohemians do have a few interesting features to start with. If you want to go the Spearman line route, who the hell in this game doesn't love playing with Spearmen? Their line deals 25% extra bonus damage, which against a cavalry mounted civilization like the Huns might be problematic. Or you can completely evolve your monk line by researching an upgrade that replaces all the gold cost of monks and monk upgrades with food, essentially turning Bohemian monks into well-fed trash units. Now, as we all know, gunpowder units are pretty darn expensive, so to help you pay for them, keep your settlements safe, your economy up and running, universities and blacksmiths cost a lot less wood, mining camp upgrades are free of charge, markets work 80% faster, and villagers are harder to raid because they benefit from fervor and sanctity, two monk upgrades that make them move 15% faster and have 15 more HP. Now, who might want to attack some of those thicker, chunkier, more powerful villagers? Let's take a look at the Huns on the right side of the map, where Mr. Yo continues to harvest all manner of livestock. The Huns civilization designed to take the fight to its enemy with speed and mobility. Their cavalry archers get progressively cheaper, 10% off in Castle, 20% off in Imperial. Their trebs fire more accurately at units, and their stables work faster than normal, which is great news for them because they can actually upgrade their stables like the Goths to train their unique unit. Now, instead of the Huskarl, this time we're talking about the Tarkin, a medium cavalry unit with a high amount of pierce armor and a pretty darn good attack bonus against buildings that makes it fantastic at late game destruction. That has supported its military. The Huns, if you take a look at the top of your screen where my mouse is circling, you'll notice they don't need any houses because they started the game with 200 population space already available. Basically, whatever max pop you set the game to, that's what the Huns start out with. But that also comes at the cost all the time. Whatever the developers giveth, the developers taketh away. And in this case, it comes at the cost of 100 wood. Them be the two civilizations we've got in front of us. Like I mentioned, the tortoise, a very slow, methodical, pushing civilization full of very powerful, slow-moving units, versus the Huns, which Huns are Huns, basically designed to run around the map, kill you, slash you on your flanks, on the front. They've got enough in their arsenal. They can kill you a myriad of different ways. And for now, lots and lots of lumberjacks here for our Hun as he heads up to the Feudal Age off the back of the same number of villagers. But something tells me he didn't get loom. There we go. Whenever you have the same number of villagers, the same number of TC idle time, but there's a difference in uptime, it's generally that 25-second loom. And even though our Bohemian has racked a very inexcusable 1 whole second of TC idle time, looks like Mr. Yo's going to discover MbL's base. MbL's going to discover Mr. Yo's base, or maybe not, actually. Ooh, you left a little bit early. A little bit early. If you had just delayed your scout a few seconds, you would have seen the barracks. So technically, even though MbL has seen the primary patch of gold, so he knows his opponent is somewhere here, he must know he's in this zone right now. Okay, so now he's discovered both extra patches of gold. He's going to run straight into the primary stone as well. And once that happens, he's definitely going to know that his opponent is somewhere here in the center. You don't need it's not rocket science It's not brain surgery to know exactly where your opponent is located. Let's remove the fog of war. Let's take a look at the attack path between the two bases. Hilly, full of forests, so nice and fun. This should be a lot of fun, actually. Whenever there's all these little forests, little avenues of attack, you never know where the players are going to attack from. Will it be a direct brute force attack? Will it be a little sneaky proxy attack? For now, MbL with his faster, stronger, and I guess when they go up to Feudal Age, they really eat their carrots because their line of sight gets better as well, so they can see further. Although I remember reading that that was a bunch of bullshit. Maybe somebody who watches these videos knows. I remember reading this whole thing about how carrots improve your eyes is actually British World War II propaganda. How during the Blitz in the evening, in the nighttime, when the Luftwaffe planes were bombing England, carrots were somehow one of the foods that were still very prevalent. And so the English government created a campaign that said, eat carrots, because to be fair, that's the only thing they really had, one of the only things they had to eat, and it'll improve your eyesight to help you shoot down those German planes as they try to bomb the motherland. But I don't know if it actually, anything in carrots actually does improve eyesight. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I remember reading something about how the connection between the two is pretty much made up. Although I guess everything in life is made up, isn't it? As is this war. Looks like blue gave up the high ground so that red could take the high ground. It doesn't really matter with the archer. It is Mr. Yo, the Hun, who with his foot soldiers draws first blood. MbL loses his spearman. Not too sure what the hell that spearman was doing on the other side of the map, completely alone, completely unsupported. MbL's army is over here. One of those scouts took a little bit of damage. What about Mr. Yo's army? Oh yeah, this guy took a lot of bit of damage, and then a few more units. So let's take a look. Primary gold, currently in the forward position, not really that in danger anymore now that the wall-off is complete. And this interesting little tiny base that MbL has created for himself doesn't really have very much inside of it. He's got the berries. I like the inner forest. But aside from that, extra gold, extra stone, or pardon me, primary stone out front, but we've got a bit of a fracas here in the front. A pair of scouts laid dead, an archer, and that's it, Mr. Yo. Your forward force, let's put it like that, your vanguard is gone, and the kill lead is firmly in favor of our Bohemian with a 3-2, but another little batch of soldiers adorably waddles their way towards the enemy lines. Will the scouts see it? If they do, will they engage? Probably yes, probably not to the second question. Not with this little HP. No, never mind. They did not see and therefore don't engage. Where are the extra resources here for MbL? Okay, primary gold is secure, but secondary gold very exposed. And where's the secondary stone? So basically, look at this. You got one patch over here, another patch over here, another patch over here, another patch over here. So they're pretty much equidistant, and they're all outside of his primary base. And MbL must think that with this primary gold, which to be fair, he's not even mining yet in the Feudal Age. He's not building any military, training any military. He is gathering resources, and his villagers are now being shoot away, attacked. While he himself doesn't seem like he got too much done on the other side of the map. We'll take a look at the Mr. Yo's base. But for now, no extra kills here. Villagers being poked at. And they've had enough. They're going to retreat. This is what why I love always when the wall off. Now, had the wall off continued a little bit further south, did he see? He saw the forest, so it could have continued south. These guys would be 100% safe. Right now, they're like 90% safe because with fletching, it's possible the archer can reach some of these. No, never mind. He tries to insert them underneath this rainforest. Not sure why it's called a forest with one tree, but a rainforest tree, a jungle tree, and he still can't reach. So we'll see how this all works out for our Bohemian, who has left 4 out of the 5 primary resources to the pretty much to the elements. Although to be fair, if you look at his base, pretty darn open. So what are his options? Create one of the world's biggest wall-offs? This is a lot of archers for Mr. Yo, and they are on the high ground. Let's take a very quick look at his base. Gold also in the front and not walled in at all. Mr. Yo, surprisingly, usually he's the one. Well, he's the one going up the castle, but usually he's the one that walls his base in early on and significantly. So I wonder if this is some kind of signal. Hey, I am abandoning my old ways, and I am definitely going to be real aggressive with it because I am jacking my wood really in the front position, completely open to the north, completely open to the east. All right. Well, it is what it is. We'll see how it all works out for both players. And also, 1, 2, 3, 4 patches of resources also to the north and one off to the side. So both bases pretty much copies of one another. Except mirror images. Ooh, one of these scouts is the one that's half dead, right? Basically dead, 4 HP. Not sure why he thinks he can dive bomb underneath the TC here. But yeah, Mysterio with the same problem. Now, luckily for him, his northern resources are in the rear position. MbL's northern resources are in very much the front position. And uh-oh. This is what happens when you don't wall off enough. Now, MbL says, you know, I've been housed in the past. Isaac the caster has made fun of me. He's mentioned housing when I played the Huns, which was... I'm glad somebody caught that when I made that comment. I'm definitely not going to be housed for the next 5 billion years because I have 95 housing supply and only 40 population. Would be damned. I am not going to be building anything that costs wood. In the meantime, Mr. Yo, with his Feudal Age army a second away. Yeah, the rattling sound tells us we're in the Castle Age. He's going to have fletching. He's also investing in mounted units because, like the Huns being the Huns, the name of the game for him is triple archery range, out of which he will be training those 10% discounted cavalry archers. Now, where is the third scout here? Ooh, he tries to catch a villager. We'll see, I believe, the cavalry archers. Oh, no. Hot on their tail, but he stops. We'll see there now. Okay, so now he sees them appearing and disappearing from the ether. Where is the third low HP? So he's on actual scouting duty. So he's going to be exploring the map, looking for relics, most likely. He saw cav archers immediately. He is going with the siege workshop, and what will come out? Will it be the cheaper scorpion? Will it be the more expensive mangonel? For now, it is neither. It is knights and double scorpion. Okay. Oh, no. This is not good at all here. Uh-oh. Now, luckily, it's only 2 cavalry archers, which means the damage is going to be pretty limited. And, okay, the villagers don't seem to give a shit. They are just going back to work here amidst these 2 cav archers. They do have bodkin. Oh, you see, this is where another player, for example, the Viper or Hera, would have used one of these villagers to just trap the cavalry archers in here and then deal with them with the knight. For now, though, he is relying on a scorpion without ballistics. We'll see how long it takes that scorpion to kill the cav archers. But Mr. Yo racking up 3 villager kills just like that. I thought the damage would be a lot less. I did not expect MbL to just move his villagers right across the archer route and lose 3 of them. I thought maybe 1 or 2, but no. Always expect the unexpected in Age of Empires. You never know what the hell the players are going to do. Mr. Yo, by the way, bringing the remainder of his Feudal Age Northern force. Forget attacking farms anymore. Now we're back to attacking palisade walls. Okay. Well, I thought we were going to have a big knight versus archer battle, but instead we are seeing archers versus bundle of sticks battle. They do have the high ground here. The scorpion, did it get the kill? No. Did you get the kill? Yes. Okay, so the scorpions did get the kill. I see a little bit of blue here. This must have been that cavalry archer. Maybe he's like a dummy. He took the fight when he probably shouldn't have. Thought he had the high ground advantage. And Mr. continuing to invest in his cavalry archers, husbandry, and a nice proxy siege workshop. I mean, he saw the TC go up, and so there is absolutely no reason not to place a big high ground siege workshop here to pump out big, powerful high ground units. In the meantime, MbL is still open, by the way. Not too sure what the point of this is. Why are you not walling this in? At the very least, a gate of some kind. No, he is investing. Well, there's fervor and, pardon me, fervor and sanctity. Just sanctity. Unless you already, you already got fervor. So let's take a look at the villagers. Look at that movement speed, 1.01. Here we go, the cav archers move in. No ballistics means they are missing a lot of their volleys. And in 7 seconds, we'll also see the villager HP jump up to 55. Always love to see these things in action. There we go, 55, 1.01 movement speed compared to your average villager of 0.8 movement speed and only 40 HP. So not exactly Incan, not exactly Spanish. Well, I guess the Incas, their villagers only benefit from blacksmith upgrades, right? So they don't, their movement speed is still whatever it is. So I guess the Bohemians have the upper hand when it comes to movement speed then. What they don't have the upper hand in here is missing ballistics. Both players missing ballistics. But does he need it? What an unfortunate location for a castle. What an unfortunate. He saw the TC. The Siege Workshop with the TC. Oh my goodness. This one barrel of whatever it is, crap. This plant and a couple of rocks are over the line, and so that means the Siege Workshop can get attacked by the castle. Oh, actually, you know what? That is a fantastic location for a castle. I thought he was going to try to take this hill over here so he could have the high ground. Hussite wagons are out. One of the best defenses against any kind of archer play is this mobile wall. Starts out with 7 pierce armor, 160 freaking HP. And if he wanted to, he could get, oh, what do I mean? Wagenberg tactics, which will make them move 15% faster, which means this train ever so slowly looks like it's moving in slow motion. Somebody cue that oh, what's that name of that famous 80s song that's in every single 80s movies? Do Chariots of Fire? Yeah, somebody cue Chariots of Fire here as MbL begins expanding out on the map. I think this might be the first time he's actually out on the map in any kind of forceful way. Looks like he also just got the mangonel of his opponent. TC is taking damage, but it is still up here. Bruised and battered, it's still up and running. And that's it. No more Feudal Age archers. They are doing a good job picking off the weaker units. I like that he chose to go for the scouts. Figured, you know what, I'm never going to kill the knights with my Feudal Age archers, even with Bodkin. I might as well just go for those scout units. And putting the Scorpions behind. Remember, the Hussite wagon splits the damage, and what I mean by that is, let's say the cavalry archer attacks it with an 8. 4 damage would go to the Scorpion, and 4 damage would go to the Hussite wagon. Which basically means 1 damage given the amount of pierce armor. Now, the mobility here, the hare is not without his defenses against the tortoise, as these cavalry archers are just running around, sniping whatever the heck they can. In the meantime, in the north, the knights are taking it. The Hussite wagons have killed a few reinforcing cav archers, but the main body is still here. Mangonels do come with a nice plus 12 attack bonus against siege, which will help them against these Hussite wagons, which do have siege armor. And MbL is finds himself a little bit of cut off from civilization here. 3 Hussite wagons and a knight. Ooh, you gotta love it when those mangonel shots hit. And one of the coolest death animations in the game is the Hussite wagon. It just crumbles into a pile of kindling, deciding to suicide his own monk so he could keep those knights in place. Will he lose another mangonel? Ooh, I feel like that mangonel did a little bit of self-damage. Oh, he loses it. MbL's army so freaking slow, so powerful, but so slow. And now look at this high ground. This could literally not be a better representation of Huns versus Bohemians than one Hussite wagon on the high ground being attacked by 11 cavalry archers. And what is going on? 1 extra TC, 2 extra TCs, 3 extra TCs for our Bohemian, who thinks he's the Sicilians and might want to call a first crusade here. MbL is expanding everywhere out on the map. Now, will our Bohemian continue going Hussite wagon? He's got it, right? Oh yeah, look at that, how many Hussite wagons he's going for. And I'm a little bit surprised that Mr. Yo is ceding map control. He has been slapped around a little bit in terms of military. He is taking a breather to get rid of the center stage monastery. 2-to-1 relics for now for our Bohemian. Hey, oh, hey, you know what's better than 5 TCs? 6 TCs. So basically every one of those extra patches of resources, this one, this one, this one, and this one, you get your own TC. It's like an episode of Oprah. You get a TC, you get a TC, we all get TCs. As the Bohemian basically wants to expand his economy. And you know what? When you're playing an expensive gunpowder civilization, might want to repair some of these Hussite wagons, though. You definitely need the economy behind it. You definitely need the number of villagers that you need to support a very small but powerful military for his part. Mr. Yo, also 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs. He's ahead, or was ahead. Now he's on par with villagers, 101 villagers apiece. Adding more and more cavalry archers. Why is he getting melee armor for his cavalry units? Okay, so he's going to add in knights. And this is the tough thing about playing against the Huns. They're, if for a mounted civilization, they're quite versatile in their mounted roster. Oh man, high ground save here for the win. Not going to save you. You are saved. I keep forgetting about the high ground, even though I just mentioned it. If he wants to, Mr. Yo can just transition to paladins. He's got the resources. I mean, he's going to go up to Imperial first, right? They both are. Oh man, MbL about 30 seconds ahead. He will lose this one TC, but hey, yo, behind he's got about 11 more. Another beautiful high ground castle, which FYI, Mr. Yo sees with his outposts. But if you can deal with their ranged units with Hussite wagons, well then, my friend, then you're going to have to potentially deal with fully upgraded paladins. And the Hunnic Paladin is a pretty darn good paladin. It's missing any kind of unique feature like the Frankish Paladin or the Cuman Paladin or the Teuton Paladin, but it has pretty much every single upgrade that you need. There's Marauder. Oh, it's not. Oh, excusez-moi. It is not for the Paladin. It is for the Tarkan. All right, Marauder is the name of the upgrade, just like Anarchy for the Goths. That allows them to train their unique unit out of their stable, and what a stable it is, working 20% faster than normal. Couple of knights trying to get some damage done here. 6 villager kills to 3. Not quite able to kill that last villager. Oh, I missed some villager on villager violence here as they stopped in the middle of carrying their giant golden balls to kill that one villager. Looks like another villager tried to build a an outpost. I don't know where that villager is, but this is adorable. A nice little wall off. 35 minutes, 37 minutes into the game. It is Tarkans. He's going up to 15 Tarkans. Now, why Tarkans and not the heavier cavalry that's available to the Huns? That is a question I would like to know. I mean, they do, like I said, they do have amazing paladins. Oh, this is the worst possible fight Mr. Yo could be taking here. The gunpowder balls are just destroying him. Unless I'm mistaken, Tarkans don't come with any relevant bonuses here at all. Building, castle, stone defense, wall, and gate. So they're fantastic, like I said in my intro, at just destroying things, but not people. Their attack is relatively low, 8, and then I believe an 11 for the elite, which we'll see in 5 seconds. He's going up to elite, if I'm correct about that. Yeah, base of an 11. The wall-off has been dealt with here. Looks like a number of villagers have died, and so with their deaths, no murder holes means that this castle is going to be really under attack. And all of a sudden, Mr. Yo is everywhere all at once. Bombard cannons falling, trebuchets falling. And this is what I'm talking about. Why Tarkans and not paladins here? To be fair, the Tarkan does move faster. It moves at the same speed as a cavalry archer, 154 instead of the 149 of the paladin. But MbL is responding with a Bohemian tower. Okay, he has one converted Tarkan. So let's see what's going on around the map, because like I said, Mr. Yo, this is his wheelhouse now. This is the kind of civilization that he loves, because it allows him to practice what I call the Hydra attack. Basically 4 different areas, 4 different heads of attack, 3 different heads of attack. Doesn't really matter how many heads the Hydra has. The point is it's got multiple prongs. I guess I could also just call it the multi-pronged attack. Now, the Bohemians have one of the best anti-cavalry halberdiers. Now, why do I say anti-cavalry? Because, you know, the Burmese, for example, with their +3 attack in Imperial, it's a pretty damn good halberdier that attacks on a 13, which is pretty bonkers if you think about it for a trash unit. But in terms of anti-cavalry, oh my goodness, this is what I'm talking about. They've got a 40 attack bonus. Look at that, cavalry plus 40. And so the name of the game here for Mr. Yo is going to have to be pairing up his Tarkans with cav archers, and he does not. This is the last band of cav archers he's got, because the cav archer will come with an attack bonus +2 against spearmen. Oh, look at that. Mr. Yo has eyeballs everywhere, whether they're outposts or mounted units. So he sees this castle going up. the same time, this Bohemian castle did take down the TC here, but it looks like it's being taken down itself as a Treb takes down the protective castle that birthed it. We'll see whose castle falls here first. Both players really repairing, but MbL not quick enough. In come even more Tarkans. Another thing about the Tarkan, pretty damn good HP. Does have more HP than the Paladin, to be fair. Excuse me. More HP than the Paladin without Bloodlines. It has 10 less HP than the Paladin with Bloodlines, 170 to 180. So again, I'm wondering why the Tarkan... Monsieur's economy is massive, 130 villagers. The wall off not complete. The Tarkans insert themselves in here again. And just look at how little damage pierce attacks do to this unit. The blue bars are just not falling until the halberdiers shove in there, and then they're falling like hotcakes. But even more Tarkans shove in. To the south. The TC gone. And now that's it. Monsieur has to run away. You can't engage into halberdiers. This is where even skirmishers wouldn't be terrible here, even though they lack an upgrade or two here and there. A few skirmishers to just soften up the halberdier, because you really only need a few attacks from that halberdier to kill the Tarkan. They're running away while another force dives right in here, going after the Treb, the same place they killed that bombard cannon a few minutes ago. And MbL is doing what MbL pretty much should be doing, relying on the castle for positioning, taking fights underneath the castle for whatever good that does. Needs murder holes ASAP. You cannot take on a civilization like the Huns with the Tarkan or the Goths with the Huskarl without having murder holes. You can't take on any units that are basically built to destroy with buildings without having murder holes. By the way, listen. Do you hear? How creepy is that? The creepiest unit in the game is the Tarkan, because when it attacks, it makes no sound. Even the halberdiers go tinkle tinkle as they catch a few of these Tarkans. Oh, a lot of other units would have died here, but no, the Tarkans with their attack bonuses managed to poke a hole and then immediately exit. But it is one of the creepiest units, if not the creepiest units in the entire game. When it attacks, it's just a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of that torch. And so when it was attacking the castle, you didn't hear a single metallic sound, a single anything. All you heard was the wind. And how creepy is that in a game where we're used to hearing clashes and bangs and tinkles of whatever manner of weapons? Wow, Mr. Yo, with the transition of Tarkans. Like I said, the Huns are one of these civilizations that's, I mean, it depends on how you define versatile. Are they like the Chinese? Do you see camel riders next to halberdiers, next to Chukanoos, next to scorpions? Not really. But are they versatile when it comes to their mounted units? Yes. Their cavalry line is pristine. Oh, pardon me. Their cavalry line is pristine. And aside from missing, like we saw the last armor upgrade, pretty much a pristine mounted line. Now, foot archers, they're missing arbalesters. They don't have hand cannoneers. That's not great. But thumb ring, Parthian tactics, chemistry, ballistics, they have got all of them mounted. So when it comes to mounted, then they're very versatile. And so when you've built up a nice, big, strong defense, you've got castles to zone out, the cavalry archers that can run around and snipe at your villagers and kill them here. There's 79 dead villagers. Then all of a sudden, welcome to melee cavalry. And the melee cavalry shows up. Now, MbL did what MbL needed to do, which is go for those halberdiers with that juicy plus 40 attack bonus. Unfortunately, just the numbers here and the positioning and the ability of the cavalry to just maneuver around means that as well as he's taking fights when he's taking them, to be fair, when MbL engages, he's winning these fights, maybe not by killing all of his opponent's units, by definitely trading out trash units for gold units, but when he's taking the fights, he's winning. Unfortunately, when he's not, this happens. The cavalry archers just come in, destroy a town center. The Tarkans come in, destroy a town centers. The Tarkans come in, kill villagers. So MbL's got to respond to a faster unit with a much slower unit and static defense, which basically means it's up to Mr. Yo to decide where to take the attacks and how to engage and how intensely to engage, whether to run away, whether to live to fight another day. It is all up to Mr. Yo. And when you give Mr. Yo that kind of opportunity, this is what happens. He just picks you apart. He slashes at your flanks, at your side, at your face. until finally there's nothing you can do but chase him. And as you chase him, you realize, oh no, I can't catch up. My units move half as fast as yours, 30-40% slower, whatever the stat is. The point is they move a lot slower. And meanwhile, Mysterio's just here with these Trebs destroying buildings one after another. 59 Tarkans, 16 more being trained. MbL's down 70 total population after losing 79 villagers. And even though he's killed a lot more military than his opponent, because again, he's got the counter unit, total kills are 172 to 134, so not great at all for our Bohemian. So in this case, Aesop's Fable didn't really teach us very much, because it is in fact the cocky hare who wins this race. But 71 halberdiers to 121. Ooh, I'm trying to figure out who takes this. Probably the halberdiers, right? I mean, again, the Tarkin doesn't attack like a paladin, doesn't have the HP of a paladin, doesn't even have the melee armor of a paladin. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'm wondering really who takes this fight. To be fair, it doesn't cost as much as a paladin. I should make that. I try to be as fair as possible. The stats aren't as good as a paladin, but it's, I think, 15 or 20 gold cheaper. 28 Hussite wagons, by the way, did an amazing job killing these knights and these cav archers. PKPM for our Bohemian a few minutes ago. PKPM for our Hun towards the middle of the game. And let's see what it all shook up. What it all shakes down. What am I trying to say? What it all amounts to? Will it be a hill of beans? Yeah, that's 11,000 resources apart. Wow. Even if you remove the difference in relic gold, it's still about 11,000. So food and gold for our Hun. This is where the Tarkin switch came from. Wood and stone. This is where the static defense and the Hussite wagon came in, because the Hussite wagon is not cheap. 110 wood, 70 gold. That is an expensive unit. So yeah, about 20% bigger economy on the whole. 1 conversion apiece, 20 raisings to 6, but not that kind of game. Mostly this is all about letting your opponent dictate the pace of the game. And when your opponent has a unit that can get all up in your face, this is why it's a little strange that what am I trying to say? Why are the pro players so allergic to getting murder holes? Hera is the only one who regularly gets murder holes, and for that, I give him such big credit. But MbL could have definitely used murder holes. This is not by the way, a technology that's unique to any civilization. Every civilization has murder holes. And so as little as it would have done, maybe would have picked up 3 or 4 of these Tarkans, especially if he targeted the weaker ones, maybe even more if he targeted the weaker ones. He could have potentially done a number on the count here and then brought in his halberdiers, but doesn't really matter. Mr. Yo, just everywhere, all at once, pushing not perhaps through the center, but doesn't, again, he's destroyed the eastern suburbs. Now he's going after the northern suburbs, which basically leaves MbL with this. And once this castle falls with the castle over here, there's nothing that's safe. Your relics, your 2 relics are now in jeopardy. Your town centers are in jeopardy, and you've lost 79 villagers, and you've got to plant your flag somewhere. Will you replace the villagers? Will you keep training halberdiers out of how many barracks? Only 5 barracks. Oh man, that is rough. If he had 5 more, if he had 10 to 15 barracks, and he has the wood for it, by the way, I would say, ooh, you could have kept going. You definitely could have kept going. With 5 barracks and your opponent already here at 190 population, very hard to replenish your army, because whatever pops out individually or in clumps of 2 or 3, they will get surrounded and killed very fast. And the Hussite wagon is not going to do very much with its 10 attack against the 8 pierce armor of the Tarkin. And with the omnipresence and the brilliant switch to Tarkans, I thought for a second we were going to get to see paladins. I was getting a little excited. I thought we were going to get to see paladins, but no, Mysterio fooled me and went for the Tarkin. And with the switch to Tarkans and with the destruction of Suburbia, it is our Hun in blue, Mysterio, who takes it. The tortoise does not win this race. Mysterio is victorious, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.